there everybody, and welcome back to the Blossom Crochet channel. In this crochet tutorial I will be showing you how to make this absolutely amazing granny square. Now we all know how much I love a granny square on this channel, so this is a really beautiful variation of the spiked granny square that you can already find on the channel. So you can see it is a switch up of normal granny square and rounds of spiked granny squares. So this one you can do as many rounds as you like of the traditional granny stitch mixed in with the spiked granny stitch. You can switch it up as many times as you like. So you can see it gives a really nice dense texture. So the holes are quite nice and small. It stays absolutely beautifully square, as you can see here. And you can change colours, you can use a big yarn cake, whatever you choose to do, it will be absolutely gorgeous. So I've chosen to do 2 rounds of each, so I've got 2 rounds of traditional granny and then 2 rounds of the spiked granny stitch, and this is the effect that you get with that. But you can obviously change each round, you could do much bigger blocks, it is completely up to you. For the tutorial I'm just using some Shapey's stone washed yarn. I will leave the colours in the description box, and I'm using the recommended hook size. So whatever chosen yarn, just use the recommended hook size, and then you'll get this lovely dense texture to your blanket. I will also leave a link in the description to joining methods as well, in case you wanted to make small squares and join them together, but you can obviously make one large continuous blanket as well. So I really do hope you enjoy this tutorial. If you don't subscribe to the channel, then take a moment to do that now and click on that little bell icon so that you can receive notifications. Also, if you do enjoy it, please remember to give it a like. Let me know what you think in the comments, because all of that does really help with the channel. But let's just jump in with this gorgeous crochet granny square. So we're going to start with our slip knot on our hook. And then we're just going to do our first 2 rounds as we would a normal granny square. So I will just say, for the entirety of the project we're going to be using UK treble crochet, but in the US these are called your double crochet. So do just keep that in mind if you're used to US terminology. So you want to chain 4, and then you're going to insert your hook into that first chain and slip stitch. So yarn over and pull through both. You then want to chain 2, which is going to count as your first treble of the round. And then we want our granny clusters. So a granny cluster will always be 3 trebles. So the chain 2 counts as your first one, and then you want 2 more into that center circle. So yarn over, go into the center of your circle, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So 1 more. So all of these stitches are going to be worked into that center. So that is our first granny cluster. You then want to create a corner by chaining 2, and then back into your center ring you'll do another cluster. 1, 2, and 3, and then again a new corner, so chain 2, and then you want 2 more granny clusters as well. So you'll do 3 trebles, another chain 2 for your corner, and another 3 trebles, and that is where I will meet you in just a second. Okay, so you should have 4 sets of 3 trebles and 1, 2, 3 and 4 chain 2s. So I've just done my final chain 2, and I'm ready to slip stitch to the top of that chain 2 from the beginning of the round. So that is round 1 completed. You want to turn your work now, and then you're going to slip stitch back into that corner chain 2 space. So insert your hook and slip stitch. You're going to chain 2 and then 2 trebles into this chain 2 space. 1 and 2. Now I personally don't like to chain anything between my clusters because that keeps the work nice and tight. So I'm going to jump across into my next chain 2 space, and I'll do my 3 trebles. I want to create a new corner, so I will chain 2 and then back into that same chain 2 space, another set of 3 trebles. And then again, you're ready to jump to your next chain 2 space and do your 3 trebles, chain 2, 3 trebles, all in that same space. And I will meet you as you get towards where we started from. Okay, so where we started from, our very first corner space, we've only got half a corner in there at the moment because we've only got 1 set of trebles. So into that chain 2 space, you want to do your last set of trebles. So 1, 2 and 3. You need to chain 2, never forget to do your final chain 2, and then again you'll slip stitch to the top of that chain 2 from the beginning of the round. Okay, so I'm going to be changing colours here. If you were carrying on with a yarn cake, then you would just turn your work and slip stitch back into that chain 2 space. But that is where I will be meeting you in a second anyway, so I'm just going to finish off with this colour. So you want to turn your work, and then because I'm attaching a new colour, I'm just going to, I've got my slip knot on my hook, I'll yarn over and then into any of your chain 2 corner spaces, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So you will either have what I've just done, or you will, if you've continued with the same yarn, you'll have turned, slip stitched into your corner and done your chain 2, which is what I will have the equivalent of here. So again, we want to do our 2 trebles into our corner chain 2 space. And then this round is where we will work our spike stitches. So we will have 2 rounds of normal granny square, 2 rounds of spiked granny square. So we will start with our normal treble into our next space. So treble. And then we want to do our spiked treble into the top of the middle treble from in this space set down here. So yarn over, go through the top of that treble, yarn over and pull up nice and tall so that your stitch is about the same height as your other stitches, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and then you'll probably need to move it out of the way slightly to see your space again to do your 3rd stitch, so your normal treble back into that space. Okay, so you'll have treble, spike treble, treble. And then in your corner space, you will just work that as normal. So your 3 trebles, chain 2, 3 trebles. Do my chain 2. Okay, so I'll show you this set of stitches one more time. So into your space you will do a treble and then a spike treble into the top of that treble from the set right below. So yarn over, go through the top of that treble, yarn over and pull up nice and tall. If you don't pull your stitches nice and tall, you will find that your work will bow in and then flare out towards the corners. And then just complete your treble stitch. Then again, move that out of the way to get back to your space and do your 3rd and final stitch of that set. So you can see now we're starting to get those beautiful spike stitches. So if you continue that, and then I will meet you as you get round to where we started from. I'm almost back round now. I'm just finishing my final corner space by doing my 3 trebles, my chain 2, and then I'm going to slip stitch to my 1st stitch of the round. Okay, so that is how you should look with the start of those beautiful spike stitches. So again, now you will turn and we're going to slip stitch back into that space. Again, chain 2 to count as your 1st treble, and then 2 trebles. And as always, we will finish off that corner when we get back round in a minute. And now again, we're going to be working our spike stitches. So we'll do 1 treble, and then again, so we'll have 2 spike stitches to do on this side. So you'll go through the top of that treble again, from the space below, yarn over, pull up tall and complete your stitch. And then again, another treble back in that space. And then you'll skip across once more, and you'll do your treble, spike treble down into that center stitch, pull up tall, and 1 final treble back in that space. And then again, you'll do your corner. So again, if you work that all the way around, and I'll meet you in just a second. Okay, so I've worked my final half of my corner. I've done my chain 2 and I'm slip stitching one last time. And again, I'm changing colour here. So you can do as many rounds as you want of the spike stitches versus the normal granny stitches. It's totally up to you. I'm going to turn again and bring in my next colour. So personally now I'm going to be switching back to the normal granny square. So again, I will just start with my slip knot, and I will just very quickly show you how to switch back, but it is pretty simple once you get going. So you'll do your first stitch, and then again your 2 trebles, and then you'll simply switch back to a normal granny square, so no spike stitches. It's as simple as that. So you'll do your granny stitch into each of your spaces, and then granny stitch, chain 2, granny stitch into your corner spaces, and you will just work that for however many rounds you want, and then you will switch back to your regular granny stitches. So I really do hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. It is a really quick and simple one, but you get a really beautiful pattern worked up from it. But yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this one. Please do remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, let me know what you think. But I will see you again for another video really, really soon. But thanks as always for watching, and bye for now.